Lady Colin Campbell has never been one to shy away from controversy, and once again, she has taken center stage in a royal firestorm. This time, it's a scandal that touches the very heart of the British monarchy, a shocking claim that the late Queen Elizabeth II was deeply, privately furious about what she reportedly believed to be a deceitful and disgraceful secret: Meghan Markle's alleged use of a surrogate for the birth of her children. According to Lady C, this wasn't just palace gossip, it was a source of real and lasting fury for Her Majesty, one that went largely unspoken during her reign but simmered behind the gilded doors of Buckingham Palace. As viewers across the world grapple with what Lady C has just revealed, the royal community is thrown into renewed tension. If true, this isn't just a family disagreement, it is a potential betrayal of royal protocol, deception at the highest level, and a disruption of the royal bloodline tradition that has governed the British monarchy for centuries. At the core of the storm is Queen Elizabeth II, Britain's longest reigning monarch, a symbol of duty and legacy. Behind her ever-composed public image, Lady C claims there was deep resentment, even anger, toward Meghan Markle over what she believed was a deliberate and damaging cover-up. What makes this revelation even more explosive is that it doesn't come from tabloids or unnamed sources, it comes from a woman who has known the inner workings of royalty for decades. Lady Colin Campbell, royal author, aristocrat, and outspoken commentator, has once again set the internet ablaze with her bombshell statements. In a detailed, emotionally charged interview, she stated in no uncertain terms that the Queen was not fooled. She believed Meghan and Prince Harry had misled the monarchy and the public alike, and the consequences, Lady C insists, were far-reaching and deeply personal. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's first child, Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor, was born in May 2019, followed by their daughter, Lilibet Diana, in June 2021. Both children's births were shrouded in what many viewed as unusual secrecy. No traditional hospital photo op, no official record of birthplace details in the usual format. The royal press corps was not informed of key events in real time. And for some, the limited and controlled information triggered suspicion. At the time, royal watchers and critics alike speculated something was off. Now, with Lady C's revelation, that long-dormant suspicion has come roaring back to life. Lady C has built her career on pulling back the royal curtain, and in this instance, she insists Queen Elizabeth was incensed by what she saw as not just dishonesty, but a fundamental insult to the institution she led for over 7 decades. According to Lady C, the Queen felt blindsided, deceived, and ultimately disrespected by Meghan's alleged decision to hide the use of a surrogate while maintaining the image of a traditional royal birth. The implications, Lady C suggests, were more than symbolic. They were constitutional, cultural, and personal. The Queen, Lady C claims, held strong views about royal traditions, including the sanctity of royal births. Her Majesty, who had herself given birth to 4 children under the gaze of intense public scrutiny, believed in transparency and responsibility to the British people. The idea that Meghan might have orchestrated a false narrative around the birth of her children, if true, was, to the Queen, utterly unacceptable. Moreover, Lady C emphasized that Her Majesty saw this alleged deception as something more serious than mere privacy. It was a betrayal of trust. If the monarchy was built on duty, continuity, and legacy, then a lie, especially one concerning royal heirs, was a threat to the very fabric of the crown. According to Lady C's insider knowledge, the Queen's response was not one of open confrontation. Ever the master of quiet diplomacy, the monarch maintained her poise in public. But behind closed doors, Lady C claims, Queen Elizabeth II expressed private fury and grave concern about what she believed to be a carefully orchestrated ruse. Her anger wasn't theatrical, it was deeply rooted in her sense of moral obligation to the throne, to the British public, and to future generations of royals. The reaction within the wider royal family, Lady C suggests, was equally complicated. Prince Charles, now King Charles III, reportedly attempted to keep peace while trying to verify the truth behind the whispers. Prince William, always the enforcer of tradition and duty, was allegedly more blunt in his response, showing visible tension in his interactions with Harry during this period. Palace aides, according to multiple royal experts, were confused and frustrated by the secrecy surrounding Archie's birth and the couple's refusal to follow long-standing royal procedures. In fact, the decision by Meghan and Harry to step away from royal life just months after Archie's birth may have been partially influenced by the growing internal friction. According to Lady C, the Queen's fury was not the only consequence. The alleged surrogacy cover-up triggered conversations at the highest levels of the monarchy, conversations about trust, legacy, and what could be tolerated from members of the royal family. For Queen Elizabeth II, Lady C insists, it was one of the most distressing controversies of her later reign. Yet, despite her alleged fury, the Queen never publicly addressed the scandal. Why? According to Lady C, it was out of love for her grandson, out of a desire to protect the monarchy from public scandal, and out of a lifetime's commitment to dignified silence. Her Majesty, Lady C believes, feared that confronting Meghan and Harry publicly would only deepen divisions and damage the reputation of the crown. But make no mistake, she says, the Queen was not indifferent. She was not fooled, and she was certainly not pleased. What adds even more complexity to this scandal is the lack of evidence. No official confirmation has ever been given about the use of a surrogate. Meghan and Harry have repeatedly insisted that they were present for the birth of both their children and that any privacy measures were simply to protect their family's well-being. Their supporters argue that Meghan, as a woman of color entering a historically white institution, had every right to protect her personal medical history. They view the allegations not only as invasive but as veiled attacks on her character and autonomy. Yet critics point to inconsistencies and evasions, and now, with Lady C's explosive claims, the conversation has reignited. If Queen Elizabeth herself believed the surrogacy theory and was angry about it, then what does that say about the inner tensions within the royal household? What does it say about the rift between Harry and his family? And what does it say about the future role of Archie and Lilibet in the royal line of succession? Lady Colin Campbell insists this isn't about gossip, it's about truth. It's about a monarch's reaction to a situation she saw as unprecedented and unacceptable. According to her, Queen Elizabeth may have worn the crown with grace and discipline, but she also had limits. And this, Lady C says, crossed one of them. As this revelation sweeps across royal watching communities, social media platforms, and international news outlets, the world is once again reminded of the delicate balance between tradition and modernity, secrecy and transparency, loyalty and rebellion within the House of Windsor. With Queen Elizabeth no longer here to speak for herself, the truth behind her alleged fury may never be fully confirmed. But thanks to Lady C's daring account, the public now has a new lens through which to view one of the most controversial royal chapters in recent history. And as royal commentators and fans alike continue to debate, dissect, and demand answers, one can't help but wonder, was this a quiet scandal buried with a queen, or is it a royal truth that will one day change everything? Now we turn the question over to you. If Queen Elizabeth truly believed Meghan Markle deceived the monarchy with a surrogacy cover-up, what does this mean for the future of the royal family? Could this be the scandal that changes everything? Tell us what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share this video if you want more in-depth royal stories like this one.